Hello, and thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to be diving right in and talking about the blueprint to an elevated brand. Hi, my name is Alexis, and I am a brand strategist and a website designer. If we haven't had a chance to meet or connect in person or over social media, please send me a message. I would love to chat with you and get to know you a little bit more. A little bit about me. I am a wife. I'm a mom to two. I got a 3.5 and a 5-year-old at the time of this recording, and I am a massive decaf addict. I love coffee, but it's not so great for my hormones. So, you will find me this morning. It's 5 a.m. and I am sipping on a big cup of decaf. Um, I have product-based business experience, and I am now currently in a service-based business. So I'm teaching from a place of experience in both of those separate industries and types of businesses. Um, and I'm called the Branding Queen. Now, this is definitely a name that my business connections and some of my small business friends and clients have started calling me. It's not a self-termed name, but I will take it. This is definitely my niche, something that I'm very, very, very good at. This is my forte, and I'm so excited to be sharing a little bit about what I know to help you in your business. So that leads us here to my current business. This is Alexis Underwood Design Studios, and I am so blessed that you're here. So let's just dive in. I want to share a little bit more with you about my blueprint to an elevated brand. So, our talking points today, we're going to cover the profile of what an eager buyer looks like, the secret sauce of your business, the influence of branding in your business success, what the breakdown of brand elements are, and the purpose and the use of a website. And then I also have a special announcement at the end. So, stick with me. This is going to be really good, and I'm super excited that you're here. So I want to make sure that this stays, real to the point. We're going to dive right in. Why do people buy? What's the profile of that eager buyer that we all desperately, desperately want? So when a buyer has a need and they feel like a purchase will give them a solution to their problem, that is when they buy. Now, people will buy from you specifically when they feel like you have an offer that fits their need and they feel secure to buy from you. That means they know you, they like you, they trust you. I'm sure you've heard the whole know, like, trust thing. But for real, that is actually a true statement that if people feel like you have an offer, but they're not sure if they trust you or they're not sure that that you're going to follow through with what you're offering or what you're promising, and things like that, then they aren't necessarily as likely to purchase from you. And so this is important. People will buy from you when they feel like you have that offer that meets their needs in combination with, and this is important, in combination with the fact that they feel secure purchasing from you as an individual. And that is built on that know, like, trust factor. So it's important that you have strong business values and strong business ethics. You need to be honest and fill your business with integrity and all of those kinds of things. But if people don't know that those are values of your business, then they are not going to necessarily feel secure in purchasing from you. And so that's part of our job, is to make sure that they feel like they do know us and that they can trust us. And that if those are elements of your business brand, those values, that integrity, then you need to make that clear to them so that they feel super, super comfortable. Okay, so what makes you stand out? You're going to probably guess this by the last slide, but you are the secret sauce, okay? You are the person that is very enticing and completely unique to your business. There is nobody else in any industry or any business that is you, right? And so you are the most important part of your business. There are so many small businesses out there. It's not even funny. Everybody has a business now. And that's great because there's enough room for all of us there. We're not in this competition thing. This is community over competition. There's absolutely a place for all of us. And the reason why is because there is a different type of buyer for each of us as a business owner. And what might be a perfect fit for you and a client that you're working with, that might not be a perfect fit for me. So the type of person, the client profile, that buyer that you're desperately looking for, they're desperately looking for you, not somebody else. They're looking for you and your experience and your story. And so you are the secret sauce of your business. There's not something you are not duplicatable, right? So this is important because When you show up and you portray yourself as a small business owner, they can get to know you and realize that you are the person that they want to purchase from instead of somebody else. So it's important for us to build connections in our business. This is incredibly important. And I cannot tell you enough. People do not want to buy you strictly for your product. There's a bajillion businesses out there that have a product. If they could buy a product only and that's all that they were getting, they would price shop until they found that ideal product for the lowest price. People will buy from you and buy from your business because they value you as a person and they value the connection that they've built with you and they value the values and the personality that you are in combination with the products or the services that you're offering. So in order to build connection, we need to share about ourselves, right? And we'll dive into that in a minute. But when you build connection, that helps you generate loyal repeat clients. That branding that you create within your business helps personify the parts of you that you want to share. Now, this does not mean that you have to share every single little tiny bit about you and your business and your personal life and all that kind of stuff. You can create a part of yourself that you're willing to share with your business and keep the other part of yourself and your life private. And that's totally okay. But when you are able to present yourself and build those connections with your clients, then you do create those loyal repeat customers. And those are absolutely essential because those are the people that continue to come back. They're going to spend more money. They're going to work with you again. But also, they're the ones that are going to rave post about you on social media without you prompting. And they're going to be sending people to you because a rave review, especially in an organic setting that's not prompted, is going to absolutely send you more business than a whole bunch of people that just ordered from you because they were price shopping, right? So when you build connection, you are also setting yourself apart in your industry. And I know we talked about this a second ago, but you are the most unique part of your business. And so if you are able to highlight that and really lean into that, that's going to make you stand out in your industry. Because like I said, there's no duplicating you. There's possibly duplicating your methods. There's possibly duplicating your products. However, there's nothing about you that somebody else can duplicate authentically and continue to personify throughout the extent of their business. And so it's important to lean into being yourself in your business, whether you are super fun and flamboyant and exuberant and exciting and bubbly and all that kind of stuff, or if you're just more chill and you're very down to earth and you're very quiet and you're an introvert and you just want to show up and you want to show up and do your business and then you want to clock off and be done at the end of your day. And that's okay too. It doesn't matter. Like you can show up however you are. If you're quirky or you're quiet, whatever, there's a buyer for you, but you need to share about yourself and about your personality within your business in order for you to attract those buyers that are actually going to be interested in working with you specifically. So it sets you apart in your industry. And then it also builds security in your business. This is helpful, honestly. And I'm going to be super honest here. There are people that have copied me in my business, and I'm very new in business. And there are people that have copied me in my previous business, my product-based business, who tried to copy me. And it's honestly, it's just part of business. It's going to happen eventually. So I know people will say, be flattered, but it's frustrating. Absolutely. But here's the thing. If somebody's willing and able to copy you, that's on them, but they're not going to be able to continue that duplication if you're being authentic to yourself and you're sharing you, because nobody can duplicate you, even if they're trying really hard, right? And so it also builds that security into your business. It helps avoid that duplication potential. And just in case you decide to change your business model down the road and you, like, for example, like what I've done, I changed from a product-based business. I'm now a service-based business. I brought a lot of my clients with me. A lot of the customers that have purchased from me in the past are now following me and interested in learning from me as a business educator now. And so because I built a personal brand around myself, I was able to bring those clients with me from one business to another. And so if you are building a personal brand and you're willing to share yourself, people are going to feel connected with you regardless of what you progress through in your business journey. So that's important. Those are just some of the components or some of the positives of building that connection, building that relationship, and really branding yourself into your business. Now, what is the significance of brand design? You're like, okay, great. So I got to show up online. That's great. I can do that. But like, what's the whole thing about brand design? Like, what is that? So your brand is going to tell your business story. It's going to build business familiarity with your clients, and it's going to develop client loyalty. Now, brand design influences absolutely 100% every aspect of your client's experience within your business. And your brand is a lot of things. It is the visual components, absolutely, but it's the way that you speak to your clients. It's your client's experience. It's the values that you choose to personify within your business and you choose to use within your business. So the branding, like I said, it plays a role in every aspect of your client's experience. Here's a little bit of a breakdown. So you have those visual components, right? So those set the mood and the tone for the client experience. They convey a lot of your personality and a lot of your business brand's personality. They're also naturally polarizing, and that's actually a good thing. And I know sometimes in business, you're like, but I want everybody to buy from me, but you really don't. And the point of being naturally polarizing is that if people are not interested in you, that's fine, because that means that you're sharing enough about yourself that makes the people that are interested in you very clear on why they're interested in you and why you're such a good fit for them compared to somebody else. And so it's important to be polarizing, and you don't have to talk about politics and all that kind of stuff in your business, but sharing little bits about yourself that could make people go, oh, I'm not into that. Or, oh my gosh, I'm so crazy about that. I would totally love to work with her just because, we really like, she has a lot of the things that I'm interested in, or she has a lot of the values that I'm interested in, or that I value as well. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, so voice and messaging is another component of your business brand that speaks to the heart of the client and addresses their need, how they receive it best. So that's how you talk to your client. Do they want to be talked down to like you're educating them in a classroom setting? Do they want to be talked to like you're sitting down for a cup of coffee and you're just going to chit chat and you're going to help them, but it's going to feel very, my best friend and I went to grab a latte kind of situation. There's a lot of ways that you can interact with and teach and educate or help your audience and your clients. And it really depends on what your business model is and how you want to go about that. And also how your clients are going to receive that from you best. And so honing in on that is a component of your business brand. And then there's also that internal branding portion. And I know this isn't like technically an actual category of branding, but in my personal mind, this is kind of a one-off of that initial brand introduction. When somebody goes to your social media account, they're going to see your visuals, they're going to read your copy, and they're going to feel compelled one way or the other to be more interested in you. If they decide to move forward with you, then you are going to send them an invoice. You're going to invite them into your inner circle community groups or whatever, however your business is built out. There's that transition from potential client to paying client. And during that transition, what is the elevation of your experience for your client going to be like? So this is going to be how you're invoicing. Are you invoicing these big, beautiful, luxurious invoices? That's one of the things that I do. I absolutely love it. I think it's so much fun to send these gorgeous invoices. And every time I send them, my clients are always like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I've never seen an invoice like that. I was just expecting a PayPal invoice. And, it's got pictures and stories and, just beautiful. It's just beautiful, and it's part of my client experience for somebody to come and work with me. I want them to have just this beautiful luxury experience when they're working with me. And that's part of my personal brand. They might not necessarily even know that that's a thing until they start working with me. But I've continued that experience and that look and that branding beyond just my social media, my website. That kind of pulls in and ties everything in together, even while I'm working with a client. So that intro branding, it influences the client experience from start to finish. This is also a very important thing to note that if you are able to elevate your client experience, it allows you to elevate your prices as well. And I'm not saying that if you slap a bunch of pictures on your invoice that you can charge more, because that's absolutely not the case. There needs to be that value that you're offering as well. However, a client experience is going to make a huge difference. For example, and this is going to be a horrible example, but this is the way my brain works. Okay. You walk into McDonald's, you pay $7, you get your fries and you get your burger, right? And you're like looking at the chairs, they're not looking super comfy. Like the people aren't necessarily in such a great mood, but you're going to get your food, you're going to get the product. Now, if you go to a really luxury restaurant, you can order a burger and you can order fries, and you're going to sit in this really nice, beautiful booth. It's going to be really comfy. The server's going to be really friendly, and you're going to have all these options, have fun additions to your food and things like that. You're willing to pay a heck of a lot more for that experience than you are for the McDonald's experience, right? And so while they do not go completely hand in hand, your pricing is not strictly determined by the experience that you're providing your clients with. It's important that your brand presents a client experience that is nice and luxury or quality, and that your pricing can very much be affected by that client experience. Okay, so how do we define our foundation, right? You're like, wow, you're talking to me. This is great. But like, how do I do all of this? And what does that look like? And I thought we were talking about a brand blueprint. And now I'm just a little bit confused, right? You're like, how do I stay cohesive with my brand design? How do I build a brand that speaks to the people that I want to work with and creates those loyal clients? Now you're telling me to share about myself, but like, what does this look like? How do I make sure my branding fits the luxury price point I want to share? So more than just the invoicing, like, what is that going to be? What does that look like? How do I do that? And then how do I make sure my brand tells the right story and helps me stand out in my industry? You want somebody to choose you over somebody else. So let's dive into all of that. We need to define our foundations first. This is absolutely 100% essential. Every single time I work with a client, the very first thing that they do with me, once they've gone over their contracts and we've done all the invoicing and all that kind of stuff, all the like clerical components, the very first thing every single one of my clients does is fills out a very extensive branding questionnaire. So you need to know who your audience is, know what your values are, know your offers, and you need to know yourself and how you're willing to show up within your business. These are essential. And it doesn't matter if you've been in business for like 2 months or 2 years or longer than that. You absolutely need to know this. And if you don't know this, or if you haven't refreshed on this in a while, it's important to sit down and make sure that you still know where you're at. And some of these things can change over time. So your audience may change over time. You may come into this business at the beginning thinking that you're going to serve a certain type of audience, put together some offers, realize that they're not going so well for you, and then make it kind of a transition and recreate some offers and start targeting an audience that might be a little further on in their business or something like that. And that's okay, but you need to make note of those transitions, and you need to know exactly who those people are that you want to work with, know exactly what's important for you to share in your business, know exactly what your offers are and how they help your audience, and then know yourself and know what you're willing to share about yourself, what's important from your story and who you are to share within your business. And honestly, I know you're probably like, okay, well, I know that, but like, do you know that? Do you have that written down? That should be that should be the compass for your brand development. And if you do not have that very clearly defined, then you're going to have a really hard time clearly defining the rest of your brand, because everything else is built around these foundations. So here's what your brand breakdown is. And these are all the different components that go into a business brand. And I'm sure that there's some other little ones that go here and there, but these are the quintessential, most important components of your business brand: your color palette, your logos, the fonts that you choose to use, your messaging, your voice, your asset library, and then your guidelines. We'll dive into all of these. I just wanted to show you real quick what that breakdown was. So, color palette. Your color is absolutely essential. Well, they all are, but this is absolutely essential to your business brand, because if somebody looks at your brand before they're able to read the copy, before they're able to fully take in what's going on in a photo, they're going to get that instantaneous click because of the color. That's the first thing that their eyes visually are going to receive. And so this is important because it helps you stand out, but it also creates the right vibe and the right mood. And so my business brand is very bright. It's very cheery, but it's not over the top cheery. It's very calm, but happy and warm and clean. And there are some people that have very bright businesses that are very exciting and very vivid and very energetic. And you're going to receive that and you're going to think that immediately upon looking at their content for the first time, whether you're seeing a package on a shelf or whether you're seeing their website or whether you're getting a post on their social media. Regardless of what it is, it's going to convey that mood to you instantaneously. And it's a psychological thing. It's the way that we receive color. It's the way that it interacts with our body and gives us a mood and a feel. There's a whole psychology behind it. Now, you can absolutely build a brand without looking into the psychological elements of it, but I do think that it is important to look into that, regardless of whether or not you choose to allow the psychology to sway your color choice in your business, because it's important to know how that's going to be affecting your client. And your audience as they're receiving your business brand. Color also is helpful if you're building a personal brand, which I strongly, strongly recommend that you're doing. If you're building a personal brand, it also allows you to share a little bit of your personality with your audience. I choose colors that I really like. You will see, so right now we're living in a travel trailer, so the colors in here are a little bit different, although I'm slowly painting everything. But in my sticks and bricks house, everything was very bright. I loved the clean white. I love warm colors. I accent with a lot of plants. I'm not a super bright, colorful person, but if I am going to throw a little bit of color in, it's going to be a really pretty, warm, kind of neutral. I love that camel. I love a little bit of blush, that kind of thing. And so for me, choosing these colors for my business brand, not only do they resonate really well with my clients and do they put forward the right kind of feel for somebody that's learning from me and receiving content from me, but it's also an absolutely normal part of me flowing out to my clients. This is very me. This is very my personality. This is the stuff that I love. And so it feels just very effortless. I wear these colors. This is like, this is me to a T and in complete color essence, right? And so while you don't necessarily have to pick like your top 5 favorite colors as part of your branding, it's an opportunity for you to just kind of put some of yourself out there and so that people can connect with you. Like I said, this is a first impression influence for your clients because color is the first thing they're going to see. So this is very important in your business brand. The next thing that you are going to want to consider is your logo. Now, I realize your logo is going to incorporate fonts, and we'll talk about fonts in a second, but your logo is an essential part of your business brand because it builds up brand recognition and identification. And it also allows you to portray a certain type of style and allows you to position yourself in your industry in a certain way. And you're like, wow, that's a lot for a logo. So your logo is going to have the illustration component of it. It's also going to have, whatever that's going to be, whether that's a little tiny leaf or whether that's a whole artistic feature within your logo. And then it's also going to have the text that's involved as well. And that text is going to say your business name, but depending on which logo you're using, and you should have a whole suite of logos, your logo may also say a little bit more about where you're located, or it might include your business tagline. There's a lot of other things that your logo can include as well. Your established date, things like that. So it allows you to include more information about your business, but then it also builds on that brand recognition. The logo is the most thorough presentation of your business in small form. And so if you're going to stamp your logo on your product or on the top of an invoice or on a tag for a product or whatever, whatever it is that you're doing, or just in the bottom corner of your social media post, that logo is going to build that recognition. Your clients are going to start to notice that logo and they're going to put 2 and 2 together. But it also tells somebody what you are and like what your business does and things like that. So that's very important. That is also one of those first impression influences for somebody that may not know your business yet, but is being introduced to your business. That's one of the first things that is kind of a defining point for them. Now, there's a ton of strategy involved in this design. And like I said, for a full brand identity build out, you're actually going to have a suite of logos. These are all similar logo designs, and they're going to all coordinate, but they might include different amounts of content within them, and they might be different sizes and shapes. So for example, you might have a round logo. You might want that for watermarking and for stamping on your photos and for small application uses, accents on your websites, things like that. But that's not the primary logo that you're going to use all the time when you're trying to present your business. You're going to want the logo that has your full business name in horizontal format so people can actually read it. And it's also going to include whatever illustration component of your logo that all your other logos include as well. Now, that primary logo, that first logo that has the business name and all that kind of stuff, that may not be the logo with the most information. You might also have a logo that's that same logo, the primary logo that we just talked about, that also has your established date and your brand tagline and things like that. But that's not the one you're going to use on like your box necessarily for your product. That's not the one that you're going to use all the time. And then you might also want, let's see, a vertical one, something that works really well for fitting in small, tall, and skinny places. Just really depends on what your business is and what you do and what kind of applications you are going to need to use a logo for. But this is why you would need a whole suite of logos, is because you're going to have ones that all coordinate but can be used in different areas, different uses, and all that kind of stuff. We're done on that. We'll talk about that more. But your font builds on your brand personality. Now, this is also going to tie into your logo. Obviously, you're going to use your fonts within your logo, but your font builds on your brand personality. This is one of those things where you're going to find a lot of rules that you can follow if you want on font pairing and choosing fonts that all coordinate together and things like that. There is some good advice when it comes to that, but this is also an opportunity for you to choose something that really resonates with you and your personality and your vibe. It also helps to convey the tone and brand messaging. You might see business brands where they use the same font all the time, but some of the letters are italic and some of the words are bolded. And it allows you, because people are experiencing your business brand a lot online and they're not getting that intonation in your voice as they're listening to you speak, the fonts that you choose to use and how you choose to use them can kind of allow them to feel the way that you're speaking. And so, like when you send a text message, you're like, I can't tell if this is sarcastic or if you're being serious. Your fonts, the way you use your script fonts, the way you use your italics and your bold, those all help you kind of add that feeling into the text so that people can interpret what you're saying better. It also adds interest and all that other stuff. So I would say if you're choosing brand fonts, and as you continue to develop your brand, use your intuition. You can look at trends, go with your personality. This should be fun. The font is a very fun part of choosing your business, but it also helps build that familiarity across your social platforms. So it's going to be a font that you're going to use it on your website. You're going to use it on your social media content. You're going to use it all across wherever you have the opportunity to put text that you can use your fonts, you're going to. And so it helps build that familiarity and recognition for your business brand as well. Now, the next one is your messaging and your voice. And this is how you speak to your audience. And it's the verbiage, and it's a way of approaching that is going to be very intentional and very specific. And it's going to be whatever resonates best with your audience. And so if you're talking down to your audience, you're like, you need to do this because this is this, and you're not doing this right. That's going to be received totally differently than if you were to say, hey, I noticed that your whatever is not going super well. Can I suggest trying some of this? Here's an example of how this might help, and this is why. Do you see how that feels just so much more? You feel like your friend came over and was like, I know you're struggling, but I've got something that can help you. That's so much different than talking down to somebody. So deciding whether or not you want to be, where you want to position yourself, how you want to communicate. There's a lot of like technical terms for all of this and for the different positions you can have, but essentially it really breaks down to how do you want to talk to people and how are they going to actually receive the message that you're trying to send. This is absolutely essential, because if you do it wrong, you're not going to connect with the people that you want to connect with because they're just going to feel shut down to whatever you're trying to say. Even if you have exactly the solution that they need, they're not going to be able to receive it because they're going to hear from you and it's not going to click and it's not going to be valuable to them. And so, and they're not going to be able to receive that information from you because it's not said in a way that they're receptive to. So, like I said, there's a ton of strategy involved in that. A lot of it is trial and error, honestly, because even if you think you know what your client profile is, if you don't interact with them and you don't get to kind of experience working with them and helping them through the transformation that you're offering within your business, then you're not even going to know if some of that verbiage is, the way that you talk is going to be beneficial. And so some of this is trial and error, but it really boils down to just knowing who your dream client is and going after those dream clients. And I'm not saying to hop into their messages and say, "Hey, girl," but but just like trying to connect with those people and then trying to use your brand messaging to really communicate to them that you have what they need. Now, your asset library is going to be a build up of your design elements, any images that you curate. So those are your stock images and or your brand photography. It should be both. You absolutely need brand photography if you take your business seriously. Um, but it's a combination of all of those. So those design elements that maybe are pulled from your logo as well. For example, if you have a logo with a bunch of leaves in it, maybe you pull those leaves out and you have them as a border that you can use in social media. And maybe you have them as a small leaf cluster that you can stick on this like partly transparent on your website, things like that. So just kind of to continue bringing those illustrations through. I just designed a brand this last couple of weeks for a photographer who's in Arizona. And so we have I forgot what kind of tree it is. We have a type of tree in his logo, and then we have cacti, and then we have a little bit of an evergreen tree as well, because he's in a place where there's a lot of different variants. And then we also, I drew some mountainscapes in line, like very minimalistic line art form that he can use as well. And so those are all different like design elements. They're not all in his logo, but they all coordinate and they all help build out that brand story of where his location is and what he does. He's an outdoor adventure photographer. So, all those components really bring the outside into his brand. And so those are different design elements that are part of his asset library. Your image curation, so your stock images, what you choose to use within your social media content. So for me, I have a few stock images. You'll probably see it regularly throughout. They're greenery usually, things that I love. Those are stock. I didn't go and take all of those photos, but they're very much my brand. They fit my brand, and I use them and integrate them into my business. And I don't really stray from the collection of images that I've decided to use within my business, just because I want it to be super familiar and super consistent for my audience. But then I also have a lot of brand photography you've seen within this presentation. If you take your business seriously, you need to invest in brand photography. I'm not telling you that you need to buy from the most expensive brand photographer in your area, but you absolutely need to have professional images done for your business, because a selfie is not going to cut it, and a self portrait, if you set your phone up on a timer and you're standing next to a wall in your house with your kitchen lights on so that you're lit up enough, that is not going to cut it if you are hoping to elevate your business brand and you want to charge more and you want to really take your business to the next level. That kind of photo is fine. There's nothing wrong with that photo. You can use that within your social media and things like that. But if you were trying to really elevate your brand, which is the whole point of me talking with you, is how to build out that elevated brand, you need to have professional images done. And don't go to your family photographer, because they do not know how to tell a story and how to capture your business and your business brand in the same way that a brand photographer would. So I have lots to talk about on that, but I definitely recommend that you get professional photos done. Okay, so that asset library, it's essential for consistency and cohesiveness across your social media, across your website, pretty much anywhere that you're going to show up visually. It also builds familiarity to your audience, and it builds that brand recognition and continues to set a mood for the message that you're trying to send to your audience. Come on. Did we skip one? No. Okay. Brand guidelines. Here we go. So, brand guidelines. What you do within your business branding is just as important as what you don't do. So, here's an example. My business, there's one of the stock images that I use, those leaves in the upper left corner. I love that photo of those palm leaves. I use underlines. I use organic, a little bit of texture, and it's all hand drawn. I do all of that myself. I drew this palm, and so I have a couple different palm branches that I love to use within my branding. There's one of my logo styles, and you'll get a little bit of that, just a touch of like that Art Deco kind of vibe, with that sunshine in the inside and those stars around my round logo. What you will not get from me is super luxurious, funky framing, any sort of weird shaped frame around my images that like cuts my image out weird. These organic shapes, like this bottom green splotchy shape, or that kind of really thick, heavy, almost adolescent kind of accents and things like that, like those little pink, I don't know what they are, little brush strokes off to the left. Those are things that I absolutely will not use in my business brand. There's nothing wrong with them. I don't dislike them. It's just, it's outside of the brand experience that I want to create. And because I want to create consistency and familiarity and recognition within my brand, and I want to send a certain mood, I'm going to choose to stay away from the things on the lower portion of the screen because because I just don't think that those are valuable in portraying the type of experience that I want my clients to feel and get from me. And so what those brand guidelines are a list of how you choose to use things, what elements you choose to use, what you will do in your brand, what you won't do in your brand. And you can get as thorough as you want with this. But even if you're going to just kind of do it casually, knowing exactly what you will and will not do is going to be very important for you staying cohesive and consistent over time. So, how does this tie into your website? You're like, okay, great. This is a lot of information. Here's your brand. Got it. You're talking about social media, but like also my website. How do I do this on my website? Like, how do I bring all of this full circle? So, your website is 100% a giant extension of your business brand. It's the only platform you own and control. If you are riding strictly on social media right now and you do not have a website, you should get a website like yesterday. And the reason that I say this is that what if Instagram goes down again? What if your Facebook page gets hacked? What if there's a whole bunch of options? But even if nothing happens there, you are only in control of what you're in control of, right? You're not in control of those social media platforms and what they do, their algorithm, how they change things, whether or not they take away your account, whether or not you get to connect with the people that are actually within your audience or not. That's not in your control. Your website is 100% in your control. It's yours. It's not going away. It's not going to change. Nobody's going to hack it. And so it's important for you to have a website because of a lot of reasons. Where you can build stronger foundation off your short form content. So that's one part of it. When you post on social media, you get 2,000 characters. You can't connect with people over 2,000 characters in a deep way. You could absolutely send them something that they're like, oh yeah, that's cool. I like that. Or I get that. Or that's a great point or whatever. But you're not going to develop that long relationship, especially if you're charging a premium for your sale, your service or whatever. You are not necessarily going to get somebody to buy from you over 2,000 characters. Not when there's a lot of money involved and there's an investment of time and energy and a hope for a certain type of outcome. And so on your website, you're able to build off of that social media content that you're posting to have blogs content, things that are going to nurture, things that are going to connect, things that are going to build that relationship, help build on that know, like, and trust factor. Your website also has the opportunity to operate as a receptionist in your business. And essentially, it answers the frequently asked questions. It tells people about your services. It gives them an opportunity to send you an email or to send you a message on social media. It says, hey, this is the website here. At the bottom, it says, connect with me on Instagram. It's kind of a way to organize your entire business in a way where you don't have to constantly be fronting a bunch of questions and redirecting people in a way that could be managed elsewhere. And if you're interested in scaling your business, you're interested in not working 40 plus hours a week in your business, you want to scale back the time investment that you have in your business, and you want to continue to make more, then you need to set this up in a way that's going to take on some of the responsibility that you as a business owner have had to do by talking to clients, answering questions, sharing information with them all the time. Your website should be able to take some of that over. Websites also build on your professionalism and your authority within your industry. It just says, now, this is a good website, a good website. If you have this crappy GoDaddy, I DIY'd it, and I'm not knocking those, but if it's not well organized and it's not really pretty and things like that, that is just not going to do what you want it to do for your business. And so if you have a very high quality, you can still DIY it. But if you have a very high quality website, it's going to add to the professionalism of your business. And it's going to tell people, I take my business seriously. You should take it seriously too. And it really just kind of sets the tone for that elevated experience, that client experience. And again, it allows you to begin to charge a premium for what you have to offer. So you can't have a strong website without having a strong brand. Your website is the largest brand project you will ever create. And it pulls from every aspect of your business brand. Now, I build websites. I will not build a website for somebody that does not have a very solid brand identity. And the reason why is because it's a huge project. It's not just building out a social media post. There is tons involved. There's that messaging coming into play on every single page of that website. Verbiage, that's all brand messaging. If you don't have that honed in, how the heck are you going to build a website that actually talks to your audience? If you don't have images and an asset library that's well built out and well curated and cohesive, how am I going to build out a website that actually is visually appealing and conveys that visual message to a client that they need to work with this business? It's hard to do if it's a whole cluster of all sorts of different photos and visuals, or if you don't have any at all. Like what am I supposed to build a website out with? It can't be just words, right? And so it's a very large project for your business brand, and that's why it's so important to have your brand figured out in its entirety prior to building out that website. So, for example, if you have a podcast, your podcast is going to be audio. So it's going to include your voice and your messaging, your literal voice, but also your brand voice and your messaging. It's going to have a cover image, which is going to be some of your fonts and some of your visual assets, but it's not a lot, a podcast cover. It's pretty small. Your social media, your Pinterest, any of your evergreen content. That's going to include your business fonts, your logo, probably some of your visual assets. It's also going to include your voice and messaging, but that's on a small scale. When you get to the website, it's pages and pages. It's that first impression of your business and your brand outside of that initial contact. So wherever they found you, they probably didn't find you on your website, but wherever they found you, whether they found you on Pinterest on a small Pinterest post, or whether they found you on social media post, or they discovered your podcast on somewhere, wherever they're finding you first, they're clicking to your website, and that's their first transition. They're coming onto your website. That's going to be their first impression of your full business. And so it expands on your branding, and your website is going to allow you to truly connect and convert your clients or your potential clients that you want to turn into clients. So the purpose and the uses of a website, it expands on that brand story. It allows you to nurture your audience. That can be done with a blog. That can be done with a lot of things, but it allows you to serve your clients outside of the 2,000 character limit that you're going to get on most social media. Also, I would add that people's attention span on social media is pretty slim. Most people are not going to want to read your little novel on Facebook. And I don't mean that in a critical way, because they're probably going to want to read it in a blog on your website. But if they're on social media, they're on social media for exploring people, getting to know people, reading things, but they're not necessarily going to read a super long form post. And so doing it on your website allows you to not only own that content completely and be in control of the experience that your clients are going to have while consuming that content, but it allows you to really grasp them off of those other platforms and bring them into your space. Your website allows you to showcase your expertise, really explain what you do, how you do it, why you do it, the success that your clients have had. It allows you to control the narrative and put out some social proof as well. And so having client reviews and things like that on your website, it really lets you be in control of what your client is going to get a feel for within your business. Do they trust your business? Do they think that you're capable? You are able to put out the content that is going to help convince them that you are. It allows you to house your offer suite so that you don't have to sit down and say, well, I have this offer and I have this offer and I also have this, and then this might be a good fit. And, if you're explaining to them in voice messenger or whatever, however you're connecting with them, you don't have to list everything off. Just send them to your website. Your website is going to have it built out in a straightforward, well-organized way that's going to be self-explanatory to your client so they can figure out what's the best fit for them within your business without you having to sit there and list everything off to them every single time they're interested in working with you or every time somebody inquires. It also allows you to lead your clients through your sales process. If they find a blog post, you're within your blog post, it says, hey, if you're struggling with this and if you need more support, you can check out this offer. And it's naturally going to entice them from their from where they're at on your pot or on your on your blog post. They're going to go check out your offers. Your offers page is going to have compelling content that makes them think that, yeah, maybe this is the best investment for me. Maybe I don't want to spend all this time or all this energy, or I don't have the ability to do this on my own or whatever. And she's leading me through, wow, she's nailed this pain point. She knows exactly what I'm struggling with. She's giving me a solution. That sounds great. I'm really interested in working with her. You cannot do that in a little post on social media. Okay. So your website is important. It is very essential and valuable in helping people really get to understand you, your business, what you have to offer, and how you can actually help them. And then it's designed strategically in a way to walk them through that experience so that you don't have to do that all by yourself every single time. So if you're getting a little overwhelmed, you're like, oh my gosh, that was a lot of information. Brand development does not have to be stressful or complicated. And I know it's a lot of volume and it's a lot of content and a lot of information, but it does not have to be something that you're stressful or overwhelmed with. There is a process and a strategy to go about doing the designing of the brand and then doing the designing of the website that can absolutely make things easier. So with strategy and intentionality, you can easily create a brand that brings in your dream clients, allows you to charge that premium, and gives you the option to scale for buildable wealth while also still stepping back, enjoying your life, doing the things that you actually want to do, and not being, hands deep in your business 24/7. So if you are ready to start attracting your dream clients and stop attracting the wrong audience, if you're ready to create aligned, visually cohesive, and compelling content faster and easier than ever, if you're ready to quit having to repeat your entire list of offers and frequently ask questions to every potential client inquiry, if you're ready to charge a premium for your expertise and feel worthy of those prices within your business, if you're ready to feel completely confident in promoting your business and sending clients to your website, and if you're ready to say hello to effortless sales, multiplied growth, and consistently higher income within your business, then elevate your brand and expand your income with Elevation Academy. That's with me. So Elevation Academy, this is my new program. I actually ran this once in the spring. I've completely reconfigured it to be easier and more effortless than before. And this is my program for business owners who are ambitious and ready to nail this and are really ready to take their business to the next level. What you will do with an Elevation Academy is rebrand your business using my exact blueprint for an elevated brand that stands out, showcases your uniqueness, and builds connection with your dream client. It allows you, and I will teach you how to customize a strategically designed website template so you don't have to build it from scratch, but you can showcase your offers, nurture your audience, and connect and convert with ease. And you're also going to learn how to leverage your brand and online presence to multiply your growth and scale your business organically. Now, in that program. And when you're done with that program, you are going to leave with a full rebrand of your business that you are absolutely obsessed with, that you love and feel super aligned with, that captures you in your essence, what you have to offer in your business brand, and all the good stuff. You're going to leave with a complete website and the marketing strategies to completely take your business to the next level. You're going to learn how to uplevel your brand. You're going to do it yourself during the program, and we're going to build out a strategic website together. You'll learn how to leverage it for improved sales. You're going to get all the support you need to elevate your business. So we're going to have community trainings, there's group support, you're going to get one-on-one feedback, there's lessons and workbooks and all the things that you need. Some of those are supportive. If you want to use them, you don't have to. It's all there for you. And I am there for you in any way that you need me to be, so that you are able to successfully complete that rebrand, build out that website, and really start to nail your marketing strategy and really use your business branding and website to help you take your business to the next level. I'm going to say that a lot. Next level, man. That's exactly what you're going to be doing in the next quarter of your business. This is going to be huge for you. So I guarantee the value of this program. It's guaranteed for life. Come as you are, stay till you're fulfilled. You get access to the program over and over and over again. Once you buy it once, you can stay. You can repeat another round if you want to. Honestly don't think you're going to have to do that, but if you want to, and you want to keep tweaking, and you want access to additional materials down the road and things like that, you absolutely have access to that for forever. It's a lifetime access. So when you leave, you're going to have your strategic logo suite put together. You're going to know exactly how to do all the font pairings. You're going to have all of that defined for yourself. You'll have your complete color palette put together. You will have a full asset library. You will have a strategy for developing that. I'm going to teach you all about brand photography and all of that kind of stuff. You will have clarity in your messaging. You will have defined brand guidelines, a complete, beautiful, super high converting website, and all the marketing guidance and strategies that you'll need in order to actually leverage your beautiful brand and your very well built out website to allow you to actually scale your business. Now, the total value on this, you're like, whew, that sounds like a lot. The total value on this is above $5,000. This is a wonderful, very value packed program, but I am not charging that for that. I fully believe in over delivering for my clients, and I want you to feel the experience, and I want you to see the value in this and realize that I'm here to serve you and I want to help you. And I really want you to be able to take this to the next level without having to put all of that cash up front. And so you have two options if you'd like to join within Elevation Academy. It's $1,500 up front or 6 payments of $250. That's it. And the beauty in this is that it allows you to, without being overextended within your business, really pave the way and set the tone for the new year and set the tone for the next quarter in your business without being strapped. And so if you would like to join, like I said, there's 2 payment options. It's $1,500 upfront or 6 payments of $250. But I'm going to throw in a couple extra bonuses because you joined me today. And I just want to say thank you for sitting through this lesson about my blueprint for an elevated brand. As a bonus, if you join Elevation Academy, you are also going to get social media templates, which are customizable posts, stories, and Pinterest graphics. So just to make your life a little bit easier with the branding that you design within the program, you are going to be able to so effortlessly modify those templates to be right on brand. And that just means that posting on social media is going to be way easier, which means you're going to be more consistent and you're going to be able to continue to show up even more, which is exactly what your audience needs from you. And the bonus number 2 is the first 5 people to join are also going to receive a bonus strategy call with me one-on-one. And if you join before the end of the month, so it is currently December 2022, if you join before the end of the month, you also are going to get $100 off. So what that actually means is you can pay $1,400 for the complete program, and you are going to get, this is literally like a priceless return on investment right here. Just want to say that. So we start January 9th. If you would like to join me, I would be so honored to have you. I would love for you to join me. The price is going up on January 1st, so please do not wait. If you are interested in hitting the ground running Q1 of 2023, please join me. I'm going to send a link to you in the email that is included with this video, and I would love to have you. So please sign up. This space is limited, and this is not one of those scarcity tactics. I do not have enough space to serve a giant audience because I want to show up and give a personal one-on-one feedback to each of you and really be available to help each of you that is joining the program have the success that you actually need and get the promised transformation that I'm guaranteeing here in the business in the program. And so there is a limited number of spaces that I have available. So if you would like to join, I would absolutely love to have you. Please do not sit on this too long so that it fills up, because I would be very sad to not have you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this was really helpful and that you have a better grasp of what that blueprint is that creates a full, well built out business brand. And I hope that you'll join me for Elevation Academy so that we can take your business to the next level and really build out your brand and really let you elevate your business in the new year. Have a wonderful rest of the day. I'm going to send that link to you. Please join me. I would love to have you. I will talk with you again soon.